What happens when a late-night comedy legend goes head-to-head with British royalty in the most explosive television moment of the year? You won't believe what unfolds when Prince Harry's carefully crafted public image crumbles under Stephen Colbert's relentless questioning, leading to a confrontation that left audiences speechless and cameras rolling as chaos erupted in Studio 57. Before we get into this incredible story, make sure you hit that subscribe button and drop a comment below, because you're not going to believe what unfolds. Last night's episode of The Late Show started innocuously enough, with Prince Harry settling into the guest chair wearing his signature casual blazer, that familiar smirk playing across his face. The audience greeted him with warm applause, completely unaware they were about to witness television history in the making. Colbert opened with his trademark humor, but there was something different in his tone, a sharpness that seasoned viewers might have recognized as a warning sign. "So Harry," Colbert began, leaning forward with that deceptive grin, "you've been quite vocal about privacy lately, yet here you are on another American talk show. How do we reconcile that contradiction?" Harry's smile flickered for just a moment, but he recovered quickly. "Well, Stephen, there's a difference between choosing to share your story and having it stolen from you by tabloids." His voice carried that practiced media training, but eagle-eyed viewers could detect the first hint of irritation. Right. Colbert nodded, his fingers drumming against his desk. "But some might say you've been profiting quite handsomely from sharing family secrets. Your Netflix deal, the book deals, the interviews. It's been quite the American dream, hasn't it?" The temperature in the studio seemed to drop several degrees. Harry's jaw tightened almost imperceptibly, and his hands gripped the armrests of his chair. "I think that's a rather cynical way to frame someone trying to heal from trauma and help others in similar situations." But Colbert wasn't backing down, and what happened next would change everything. "Let me ask you this, Harry," Colbert continued, his voice cutting through the studio's sudden silence like a blade. "You've repeatedly criticized the royal family for their lack of support, yet you've built an entire media empire off their backs. Isn't that a bit hypocritical?" The audience shifted uncomfortably as Harry's composure began to crack. His face flushed red, and for the first time since sitting down, his royal training seemed to abandon him completely. "That's absolutely not what this is about, Stephen. You're twisting my words and my intentions." "Am I, though?" Colbert shot back, leaning even closer. "Because from where I'm sitting, it looks like you've found the perfect villain in your own family. Every interview, every documentary, every book chapter, it's the same narrative. Poor Harry, victimized by the institution that gave him everything." The tension was now palpable. Camera operators zoomed in as Harry's hands clenched into fists. "You have no idea what you're talking about," he said, his voice dropping to a dangerous whisper. "You don't know what it's like to have your privacy invaded, your mental health destroyed by people who are supposed to protect you." "But here's the thing," Colbert pressed on relentlessly. "You're doing the exact same thing to them now, aren't you? Invading their privacy, destroying their reputations, all while claiming the moral high ground." Harry shot up from his chair so violently that his microphone pack nearly ripped from his jacket. "How dare you?" he snarled, his face now completely red with rage. The studio audience gasped audibly as security guards stepped forward slightly. "Sit down, Harry," Colbert said calmly, but his eyes were steel. "We're not done here." The confrontation was spiraling completely out of control, and what Harry did next shocked everyone. "You want to know what's hypocritical?" Harry exploded, jabbing his finger at Colbert's face. "Sitting behind that desk making jokes about trauma while hiding behind your comedy shield. At least I'm honest about my pain, instead of masking it with cheap laughs." The studio fell deadly silent. Even Colbert seemed momentarily stunned by the viciousness of Harry's attack. But the veteran host quickly regained his composure, his expression hardening into something ice-cold. That's rich coming from someone who turned family dysfunction into a Netflix special, Colbert fired back, his voice now dripping with contempt. You want honesty? Here's honesty. You've become exactly what you claim to hate. A fame-hungry opportunist who can't stop talking about wanting privacy. Harry's eyes blazed with fury as he ripped off his microphone pack, the equipment clattering loudly to the floor. I don't have to sit here and listen to this garbage from someone who's never faced real adversity in his privileged little bubble. Privileged? Colbert stood up now, matching Harry's energy. You're lecturing me about privilege? You're literally a prince complaining about your golden cage while cashing million-dollar checks. That's it! Harry shouted, his voice echoing through the stunned studio. I'm done with this pathetic excuse for journalism. He turned toward the audience, his face twisted with rage. This is exactly the kind of media harassment that destroyed my mother, and you people just sit there eating it up. Without another word, Harry stormed off the stage, pushing past startled crew members as cameras followed his dramatic exit. The audience sat in shocked silence, as Colbert, visibly shaken but trying to maintain professionalism, turned to the camera. Well, folks, he said quietly, that's television for you. We'll be right back after this commercial break. The most explosive late-night confrontation in recent memory was over, leaving viewers worldwide absolutely stunned by what they had just witnessed.